having a fire, having this base that I've made, is that I can put my pot on top of that base that's not on fire and warm up my water for lunch. I have got my fire going. I've made up a lunch of baked or barbecue beef, all right, let's go ahead and get started with the fire. I have my bird's nest here that I've collected. So we're going to use a kit that I just bought this weekend at the Bighorn show. It is a 1/2 inch magnesium rod. The handle is made out of a oil soaked wood that comes out of Africa, and I'm really excited to try this out. Just to make sure, I've got this fire kit that I use, and I have probably 12 different ways of starting fire. I have waterproof, windproof matches. I've got some jute twine, Vaseline, a tampon. I have steel wool with a 9-volt battery. This also goes with my stove. I've got fuel tabs and wet fire. Down in the bottom, I've got 6 sticks of fat wood. I have a strike force. I have some magnesium. I take magnesium powder or dust, however you call it, and put it into straws 2 inches long, put them in this pill box. It's got duct tape around it. I'm going to use some of that today. Then I also have Vaseline balls. I'll probably use some of that and this fat lighter wood just to help get this fire started. Everything is still kind of damp. I tried starting it a minute ago and it just didn't work out right. And so I'm going to go ahead and use a piece of this fat lighter and make a feather stick, get some pieces off of it, and put that down here in my bird's nest to help get this started. And so if you'll bear with me just a minute, I'm going to get some of these shavings off. Fat lighter, depending on where you're at. You saw me a little while ago with the pine tree that had all of the sap on it. Whenever a pine tree gets damaged, the sap goes to that area to help heal it. It's kind of like when we get infections or whatever, our white blood cells go to that area and try to heal. Well, the same thing is true with the pine tree, and all that sap and resin goes to the infected area. You'll see it if a limb breaks off, if the tree gets hit, the sap will go to that area, or the resin. And so, and also during the winter, it will go down to the branch. It'll come down to the branch to where it goes to the trunk. You can find the high resin there. And you can tell it because it'll have a dark orange tint to it. And if you smell it, it will have a turpentine smell. And so I found some the other day on a hiking trail. Wasn't expecting to. And so I collected some of that and took it home. So I've scraped off some of the fat wood into my bird's nest, and now I'm just going to strike it a few times with my striker. And it should catch. Okay. I'm going to try these magnesium straws. I haven't tried one of them since I made them. And so I'm going to see if they have in the 2-inch straw, if that is enough to get a good ignition. What you do is just take the straw. You want to get big, thick straws and seal the end with a lighter use some needle nose pliers. And when you heat it, you just seal the end of it off and put your magnesium in it and then seal it again. And so I got the magnesium in here. And there it goes. Got a nice big fire this time. And now I'll put my small twigs on it. Always have your kindling, your twigs, and everything close by so that you can get it started. So that's just one way of starting a fire. And let me get this settled and going, and I'll come back. And another good thing about having a fire, having this base that I've made, is that I can put my pot on top of that base that's not on fire and warm up my water for lunch. I have a couple of dehydrated meals that I'm going to try out and see how they work. So while my water is boiling, I'm going to set up my hammock here between these two trees and enjoy my afternoon. Things finally coming together. Got my fire going. I've made up a lunch of baked or barbecue beef with mashed potatoes. I've had it longer than I want to say. If you don't get to see this, it's because I died of food poisoning before I could get out of the woods. My wife sewed together this chair. It's got several different uses. I've got it set up like a hammock chair. If you look at my web page, Nathan showed me this chair. He used it in his bushcrafting, and it's got a 6-inch channel on the bottom to where I could put a stick in it. And I was trying to find 3 trees together and try it with it tied to the center tree, and then put this limb through it and put it against the 2 trees and sit in it that way. The other way is to make a teepee out of 3 long branches and separate it, and then put the 3rd branch or 4th branch through the channel and sit in it that way. The other way that I've seen it is like this with a hammock. Very comfortable. Got it tied up probably 7 feet and then tied around the tree, and this helps getting in and out of it, having a tree here, but just sit it like a hammock. My wife did a wonderful job in sewing it, and so my fire's starting to die down. I've got my dinner here, and I'm just going to sit here for a little while and enjoy it and see what's going on. I've heard some wild turkeys down the hill from me a little while ago chirping, and but it's been an enjoyable afternoon. And so I'm going to sit here for a little while and hopefully enjoy my barbecue beef mashed potatoes. I think there's some corn in there too, which I've never seen, but we'll see how it goes. If not, I've got 2 other meals. I've got a blueberry oatmeal that's dehydrated. You just put cold water on it. It's like a cereal. I've had the strawberry one, and it was real good. And then I've got another, I think it's a pasta, some kind of pasta. But anyway, I'm gonna sit here and enjoy what's left of my fire and enjoy this. Meat's a little tough, but what do you expect after 20, 30 years? if you have, this is a little Stanley, what is it, 24 ounce? It's marked to 20 ounces pot. There was debate on the forums, the bushcraft forums, and I think it might have been one of my survival forums. People were taking and replacing the little green plastic lid or handle on it with the large key rings, and people were debating about wine, you know, if you should or whatever. Well, I had mine sitting in the fire. All of a sudden I looked down and that green tab was on fire. So I don't have a choice. I'm going to have to replace it with a large key ring. I was able to find a small enough stick to stick in it and open it up. But so again, reasons to test all your gear out, and because you find out things that work and what don't work, and when people suggest it, why, there's a reason. So anyway, back to my crunchy barbecued beef and potatoes. Oh, my wife also made a camouflaged stuff sack. It's only about 3 inches by 6 inches, if that this fits into. And then I've got to make another little stuff sack to put the large ropes in. The one rope up here fits in the sack, but the lower rope doesn't. So, and then this is the sack I was telling you about. It's a drop pouch, connects to my belt, and rolls up, and then when you need it, you just undo the Velcro, and then drop all your kindling and whatnot in it. It's got a drawstring in the middle of it. So that's that. Oh, the other thing I've got, I'm making char cloth while I'm eating. It's probably should be ready. I've got some more down here I need to put in it, and I'm going to add that to my fire kit as well. They'll give me just one more thing that I can use to start a fire. So again, starting fire is not easy. Don't take it for granted. Don't think you can do it. I've tried it 3 times and failed at each time. Using just the materials from here did not work. I had what I thought was a dry bird nest, and it would start, but it wouldn't stay lit. And I ended up having to put the magnesium and in it to get it to start. But the 1 2-inch straw of the magnesium powder was the perfect size. And it started right up, and that started my bird's nest. Real simple to make. Well, I ended up buying the magnesium powder off of Amazon. I have videos of where I was making some, taking the magnesium strips that you get like from Harbor Freight or whatever, and I filed it. I also got a rasp in my drill and made real fine powder, but it was just a lot of work, and so I just ended up going on Amazon and buying it, a bag of it. It's probably all I'll ever need. It was like maybe $10 if that. And again, put it in the straws, and a little pill bottle. I've got a little miniature fire kit made out of a pill container that you can see on my YouTube, and I've got them just 1/2 inch long in there. So it doesn't take much. Well, let me check my char cloth and get something to drink, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. Well, I made it out of the woods, I was checking my videos, and the 2 or 3 that I did while I was collecting the firewood, collecting the dead branches, collecting the old man's beard, and some seed pods. I forgot to turn I just started out with this new audio system, and I forgot to turn it on, and so it's a silent film, and so I'll probably cut that out. But I just wanted to tell you what I had done and what I was finishing up with. It's 2:30, 3 o'clock now. Walked back down the mountain, finished up everything up there, put the fire out, and now I am going to head back home, get everything unpacked, cleaned up, and do these videos up for you. But anyway, it was a good experience. I enjoyed getting out again. It's been a long time. It was fun testing some new equipment. Like I said, the microphones, my new hammock chair, and several other things I've got that were new. But always test it out first at home, or if you get out into the woods, test it before you actually need it, because as I found today, it's not that easy. Again, making a fire when everything is so wet. I started watching the show Alone on, I think it's Discovery or History Channel, and the guys, I've only watched the first episode, and the guys there's only one guy that made fire the first night, and he did feather sticks. And so I didn't do a feather stick today, but I did have a lot of shavings, and it took a while. I ended up having to put the magnesium into it to get it to light. So it's not easy when, especially up here in the Pacific Northwest, where everything is just wet and damp all the time, and we constantly get rain or snow. It's just hard to find that dry tinder that you need. So that's something that I've got to work on. Once I used the magnesium, it started right up. And like I said, in my fire kits, I have several other things: jute twine, Vaseline. So it wouldn't be a problem. I just wanted to start it without anything besides just a flint, a ferro rod, but that didn't work. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please subscribe down below, and appreciate all the information that I've gotten from my survival forums or Facebook pages, and especially my new bushcraft pages, part of the tribe. Go Bushcraft. Thank you, and have a good day.